Привет.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, my name is Katya. I'm Ukrainian.
My name is Alexey. I am from Russia. I live in Porto since October 2021. I try to work here, and I have some friends in Ukrainian. And just a couple of days ago, I learned another friend who is staying here on stage with me, fulfilling basically our common dream of speaking for TED. But that would be better to speak under different circumstances, right?
Sure. So I moved to Portugal because of the war in 2014. And unfortunately, it was not far enough to choose the furthest country in Europe. Now I had to go back to pick up part of my family. And part of my family is still in Ukraine because they cannot leave. And what is common between us, that our mothers live in Russia. We both speak Russian language. I think I speak better Russian than Ukrainian. And we both have family and friends in both countries. And this war is incredibly unfair. And I know, we all know how bad Ukrainians feel now, but have you ever thought how bad feel Russian people who have nothing to do with the responsibility of this war? And my colleague and new friend, Alexey, let us listen to him.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this question, how do you feel Russian today? Very much. And it has never been an easy job being Russian, because primarily we were mysterious Soviets. Then in the 90s, through the action movies of that time, we became very much associated with the image of snake-cold gangsters drinking vodka permanently, na zdоровье. By the way, we never cheer na zdоровье. But today we have this terrifying, this catastrophic war in Ukraine. And it became, of course, logically a central topic everywhere, in private talks, in media, in social media, in newspapers, in news. And from everywhere, in different languages, you hear permanently Russians, Russia, die Russen, Russland, Ushpulsush, Russia. And this makes all of us, each particular individual from Russia, co-liable for what is happening in Ukraine, co-liable for suffer, for pain. And to some extent, that is fair. And I am co-liable personally, because obviously I hadn't done enough to prevent this from happening. But my appeal to you, to all of you, is not to generalize the Russians, because by doing so, we put the government and its supporters, the propaganda-blinded people, but also those who are trying to help, those who are helpless, those whose family are split, those who suffer, those who are even imprisoned for the anti-military actions, in the same bin. And this bin seems to be trash bin currently, right? And this is not fair. And this hurts a lot. So this is how you feel now.
Just by speaking here, Alexey is doing a very brave thing, because probably after this TEDx, he will not be able to come back to Russia, because there is no freedom of speech at all. And people who are now silenced in Russia, it doesn't mean that they support the war. Like, listen, I have my first house destroyed. We moved to Irpin, and we have 3 new houses also now destroyed, and some friends who already are killed. And I have all the reasons to be aggressive, upset, and hate people who are making this war. However, I work now, my husband and I, we help a lot to accommodate refugees who come from Ukraine. And in our team, we have a lot of Russian volunteers, people with Russian passport. And other than this Russia in their passport world, they have nothing else in common with the government of Russia and with people who support the war or make it happen. But I must admit that every day, for me, it's harder and harder not to feel scared and upset when I hear the word Russia. And I need to stop and make a small mental effort to distinguish that this person, yes, they are Russian, but they have nothing to do because there are a lot of good, adequate people in Russia who are not guilty. And I would like to finish our talk to invite you also not to judge, maybe in the future when you are more upset about this war, Russian people, because a lot of them have nothing to do with this war. And I, as a very direct victim, I'm asking personally for this favor.
And maybe we will give some applause on this, right? Thank you very much.